Story 1: Whispers in the Shadows. The small forgotten town of Ravenswood lay nestled between ancient, gnarled woods that whispered secrets to those who dared listen. The townsfolk, long accustomed to the eerie silence that blanketed their once thriving community, went about their lives with a sense of unease. Little did they know that something sinister lurked in the shadows, waiting to reveal itself. One chilly October evening, a group of friends decided to explore the abandoned mansion on the outskirts of town. The once majestic structure, now shrouded in darkness and decay, had a notorious reputation for being haunted. The friends, fueled by a mixture of excitement and trepidation, made their way through the creaking gate and into the mansion's foreboding embrace. The air inside was thick with the scent of rot and dampness, and the only sound was the unsettling echo of their footsteps on the decaying floorboards. As they ventured deeper into the mansion, they stumbled upon an old library adorned with dust-covered books. The friends exchanged nervous glances before deciding to investigate the mysterious volumes that lined the shelves. As one of them pulled a particularly ancient book from the shelf, a gust of wind rattled the windows, and the room seemed to darken. Unbeknownst to the group, the book they held was a grimoire, a portal to a world of malevolent spirits that had long been imprisoned within the mansion's walls. The friends, oblivious to the supernatural forces they had unleashed, continued their exploration. As they moved through the mansion's twisted corridors, strange occurrences began to unfold. Whispers echoed in the hallways, and shadowy figures danced at the periphery of their vision. Each room they entered seemed to hold a piece of the mansion's haunting history, and the friends found themselves ensnared in a web of ghostly apparitions and chilling manifestations. The atmosphere grew increasingly oppressive, and the group started to unravel. They argued, accusing each other of playing tricks or succumbing to paranoia. But as the night wore on, it became evident that something far more sinister was at play. One by one, the friends began to vanish, swallowed by the shadows that clung to the mansion's walls. Panic set in as the survivors frantically searched for an escape. The once familiar hallways morphed into a labyrinth of horror, and the walls seemed to close in, suffocating them with an otherworldly malevolence. In their desperate attempts to flee, the friends stumbled upon a hidden chamber at the mansion's heart. There, surrounded by the whispers of the trapped spirits, they discovered a dark secret that connected their fates to the ancient curse that plagued Ravenswood. The mansion, they realized, was a gateway to a realm where the line between the living and the dead blurred. As the survivors grappled with the truth, the malevolent force that had been awakened seeped into their very souls. The shadows enveloped them, and the friends became one with the haunted mansion, destined to eternally roam its decrepit halls as phantoms of the past. And so, the once thriving town of Ravenswood remained shrouded in darkness, its secrets hidden in the whispers of the shadows that clung to the forgotten corners of the cursed mansion. Story 2: The Silent Symphony. Nestled at the edge of an ancient forest, the town of Evervale seemed like a haven of serenity. However, beneath the facade of tranquility, a haunting mystery lingered. Every year, as autumn painted the trees with hues of red and gold, the townspeople spoke of a spectral event known as the Silent Symphony. Legend had it that on the eve of the harvest moon, a ghostly orchestra emerged from the depths of the forest, playing an ethereal melody that echoed through the stillness of the night. Nobody knew the origin of the haunting music, but each year, the townsfolk gathered in hushed anticipation, awaiting the spectral performance. Among the curious inhabitants of Evervale was Emily, a young woman with an insatiable thirst for adventure. Drawn by the allure of the Silent Symphony, she decided to venture into the heart of the ancient forest, determined to unravel the mystery that had gripped the town for generations. As Emily delved deeper into the woods, the air grew thick with an eerie stillness. The moon cast long shadows, and the silence was broken only by the crunch of leaves beneath her boots. Straying from the well-trodden path, she stumbled upon an ancient amphitheater, hidden among the twisted branches and moss-covered rocks. Curiosity overcoming caution, Emily took a seat on the cold stone steps of the amphitheater and waited. The minutes stretched into hours, and just as doubt began to creep into her mind, the first haunting notes of the silent symphony drifted through the air. The ghostly orchestra materialized before her eyes, translucent figures with instruments in hand, playing music that seemed to resonate with the very soul of the forest. The melody was enchanting, weaving a tapestry of emotions that ranged from melancholy to euphoria. As Emily listened, she felt a connection to the ethereal musicians, as if they were expressing the hidden emotions of the ancient trees themselves. Spellbound by the spectral performance, Emily lost track of time. However, as the last note hung in the air, a sudden chill swept through the amphitheater. The ghostly musicians turned their ethereal gaze toward her, their expressions a mix of sorrow and longing. Realization struck Emily like a bolt of lightning. The silent symphony was not just a ghostly performance, it was a plea from the spirits of the forest. The ancient trees, guardians of a forgotten secret, had summoned the spectral orchestra to convey a message to the living. As the ghostly figures faded into the shadows, Emily felt a profound connection with the heart of the forest. The trees whispered their story, a tale of an ancient pact, a sacrifice made to protect the town of Evervale from an otherworldly threat. The silent symphony served as a reminder of that sacrifice, a haunting requiem for the forgotten souls who had given themselves to preserve the delicate balance between the living and the supernatural. With newfound knowledge and a heavy heart, Emily emerged from the ancient forest, the haunting melody lingering in her ears. She carried the weight of the secret, knowing that the silent symphony would continue to echo through the ages, a spectral reminder of the intertwined destinies of Evervale and the silent guardians of the woods. Story 3. The Forgotten Lighthouse. Far from the bustling city nestled on the desolate coastline stood the forgotten lighthouse of Eldritch Point. It had long been abandoned, its once beacon of light replaced by the eerie glow of legends and ghostly tales. The townsfolk spoke of a curse that had befallen the structure, leaving it shrouded in mystery and darkness. One stormy night, a group of adventurous friends decided to explore the haunted lighthouse. Drawn by the allure of the unknown, they braved the relentless wind and rain, making their way through the overgrown path that led to Eldritch Point. The distant crashing of waves and the howling wind provided an ominous symphony as they approached the looming silhouette of the forsaken structure. The lighthouse, with its peeling paint and broken windows, seemed frozen in time. As the friends stepped inside, the air became heavy with the scent of salt and decay. Shadows danced on the walls, and the creaking of old wood echoed through the desolate corridors. The group ascended the winding staircase, their flashlights flickering in the oppressive darkness. As they reached the top, a sudden hush fell over them. The panoramic view of the tempest-tossed sea stretched out before them, punctuated by flashes of distant lightning. It was then that they noticed an ancient journal on a weathered table, its pages yellowed with age. The journal chronicled the life of Captain Edmund Blackwood, the keeper of the Eldritch Point Lighthouse in the late 19th century. His entries spoke of a forbidden love, a pact made with the sea, and a tragic end that befell him and his beloved Isabella. The townsfolk, fearful of the curse that had claimed the lives of the ill-fated couple, abandoned the lighthouse and erased it from their memories. Compelled by a mix of curiosity and trepidation, the friends delved deeper into the mysteries of Eldritch Point. As they explored hidden chambers and secret passageways, they began to feel an otherworldly presence. Whispers of long-forgotten vows and the mournful cries of lost souls echoed through the labyrinthine corridors. In a hidden chamber at the heart of the lighthouse, the friends uncovered a relic, a locket containing a portrait of Captain Blackwood and Isabella. The locket seemed to pulse with an otherworldly energy, and as they touched it, visions of the ill-fated couple's love story unfolded before their eyes. The friends realized that the curse that plagued Eldritch Point was not one of malevolence, but a desperate plea for redemption. Determined to break the cycle of tragedy, they embarked on a quest to lay Captain Blackwood and Isabella's spirits to rest. Guided by the flickering glow of the lighthouse, the friends ventured into the stormy night, facing the wrath of the elements. They discovered the remains of an old shipwreck, the final resting place of Captain Blackwood and Isabella. With a solemn ceremony, they laid the locket to rest, breaking the shackles of the ancient curse that had bound the spirits to the forsaken lighthouse. As dawn broke over Eldritch Point, the storm subsided, and a sense of peace settled over the once haunted structure. The lighthouse, no longer forgotten, stood tall against the morning light, its beacon rekindled by the spirits of a love redeemed. The friends, having unraveled the mysteries of Eldritch Point, left with a profound understanding that some stories, no matter how tragic, could find closure when faced with courage and compassion. Story 4. The Clockmaker's Enigma. In the heart of the picturesque town of Pendleton, known for its cobblestone streets and quaint cottages, stood an old clockmaker's shop with a weathered sign that read, "Hartman and Sons, Timekeepers." The shop was a relic from a bygone era, its time-worn facade concealing a secret that had intrigued the townsfolk for generations. Jacob Hartman, the last in the line of clockmakers, was a solitary man with a penchant for solitude and a reputation for eccentricity. Rumors circulated that the mysterious ticking sounds emanating from the shop held the key to a hidden dimension of time. The townspeople whispered of clocks that could unlock doorways to the past and future. One rainy evening, a curious young woman named Amelia wandered into Hartman and Sons, her fascination with the enigmatic tales drawing her like a moth to a flame. The air inside was thick with the scent of aged wood and oil, and the rhythmic ticking of 100 clocks created a hypnotic symphony that echoed through the dimly lit space. Jacob, a wiry figure with piercing blue eyes, greeted Amelia with a knowing smile. As she perused the shelves lined with ornate timepieces, he beckoned her toward a peculiar grandfather clock in the corner. Its brass gears gleamed in the soft glow, and the hands moved with an otherworldly precision. Entranced by the clock's hypnotic ticking, Amelia lost track of time. Jacob, sensing her curiosity, began to share the tale of the clockmaker's Enigma, a legend passed down through generations of Hartmans. According to the story, the clock in the corner held the power to transcend the boundaries of time. It was said that those who dared to wind the clock in a particular sequence could unlock portals to the past or glimpse into the future. The catch, however, was that once the clock was set in motion, the past, present, and future would become intertwined, and the traveler would be bound to the consequences of their actions. Intrigued and fueled by a sense of adventure, Amelia decided to unravel the mysteries of the clockmaker's Enigma. With Jacob's guidance, she carefully wound the clock's gears in the prescribed sequence, feeling the room shift around her. The ticking grew louder, and the boundaries between reality and the ethereal blurred. Amelia found herself transported to a different era, where the town of Pendleton wore a vintage charm, and the cobblestone streets echoed with the laughter of bygone days. She marveled at the simplicity of life in the past, the timeless beauty of the architecture, and the elegance of the townsfolk in their old-fashioned attire. However, as she delved deeper into the past, Amelia realized that her presence had unforeseen consequences. Small changes in her actions rippled through time, altering the course of events and casting a shadow over the future. The clockmaker's Enigma, she discovered, was a double-edged sword, offering glimpses of the past at the cost of reshaping the present and future. Haunted by the unintended consequences of her journey, Amelia desperately sought a way to restore the balance of time. With Jacob's guidance, she retraced her steps, carefully unwinding the clock's gears and returning to the present. The rain-soaked streets of modern Pendleton welcomed her back, and the clock in the corner resumed its rhythmic ticking. Amelia, changed by her temporal odyssey, left the clockmaker's shop with a newfound appreciation for the delicate dance of time. The legend of the clockmaker's Enigma endured, a reminder that the past should be respected, the present cherished, and the future approached with caution. And as the rain continued to fall on the cobblestone streets of Pendleton, the old clockmaker's shop stood as a silent guardian of the secrets that transcended the ticking hands of time.